My beloved soul, listen carefully. There is something shifting right now, something you cannot fully explain, but you can feel it deep within your spirit, like a quiet storm finally breaking after a long, silent night. This delay, the waiting, the confusion, the moments where you questioned if it would ever happen, it is ending. Not slowly, not someday, but now. God is moving in ways you cannot yet see, but your heart already knows. And the reason you feel this intensity, this pull, this sudden emotional awakening, is because your soulmate is no longer holding back. They are finally stepping forward. And I need you to hear this clearly. This is not just about them being ready. This is about whether you are ready to receive what you've been praying for. Because when divine timing unlocks something, it doesn't come halfway, it comes fully, deeply, overwhelmingly. Stay here with me, because what is unfolding in your love story is not ordinary, it is divinely orchestrated. If this message speaks to your heart, comment, "I receive this love." Like this video, and subscribe for more. There were nights, weren't there, when you felt their presence even in their absence. Moments where their name echoed in your thoughts without warning. You tried to distract yourself, you tried to move forward, you tried to convince your heart to let go, but something inside you refused. That wasn't weakness, that was connection. That was God allowing your soul to recognize what your mind could not yet understand. Your soulmate felt it too. Even when they acted distant, even when they stayed silent, even when it seemed like they were choosing everything except you, they were feeling you. In quiet moments, in unexpected flashes of emotion, in dreams they couldn't explain. They tried to ignore it, they tried to suppress it, but love that is written by God cannot be erased by human fear. Do not scroll away, because something deeper is being revealed about your connection right now. The delay you experienced was not rejection. It was preparation. There were things within your soulmate that had to break, patterns that had to be exposed, fears that had to rise to the surface before they could finally be released. They were not ready to hold something as real as this love, and God will never allow a divine connection to come together in a place of immaturity. So while you were learning patience, they were learning truth. While you were healing your wounds, they were confronting theirs. While you were asking God, "Why is this taking so long?" God was working behind the scenes, aligning two hearts that were not yet ready to meet in their fullness. And now something has changed. Your soulmate has reached a point where running no longer feels safe. Ignoring you no longer brings them peace. The distractions, the noise, the other options, they all started to feel empty. Because when God marks someone for your heart, nothing else will ever truly satisfy them. Stay with me, because what I'm about to say may explain everything you've been feeling lately. They have been thinking about you more than you realize. Not casually, not occasionally, but deeply, emotionally, consistently. There are moments where your absence feels louder than any presence around them. And in those moments, something inside them begins to break open, not in pain alone, but in realization. They are starting to understand that what they felt with you was not ordinary attraction. It was not temporary. It was not replaceable. It was divine. And with that realization comes something heavy: regret. Yes, they regret the distance. They regret the silence. They regret not choosing you when they had the chance. But listen carefully, this regret is not here to destroy them. It is here to transform them. Because sometimes the only way a soul wakes up is by feeling the weight of what they almost lost. And right now they feel it. Do not leave yet, because the truth about your soulmate's next step is about to unfold. They are being guided. Not by coincidence, not by chance, but by God Himself. There are signs appearing in their life, reminders they cannot ignore. Moments where your memory returns so strongly it almost feels like you are standing right in front of them. This is not imagination. This is divine intervention. The same God who allowed the delay is now initiating the movement. The same God who kept you apart is now preparing to bring you together. And this shift, it is happening faster than you think. But here is the question that echoes through this entire moment. Are you ready? because while they are preparing to take action, you are being prepared to receive it. Stay with me. Something even deeper is unfolding in your love story. You have grown. You have changed. You are not the same person you were when this connection first began. You have learned to stand on your own, to find peace within yourself, to trust God even when things made no sense. And all of that growth, it was necessary, because the love that is coming toward you now is not the same as before. It is more mature, more aware, more intentional. Your soulmate is not coming back as the same person who once hesitated. They are coming with clarity, with purpose, with a heart that finally understands what you mean to them. But with that comes intensity. This reconnection will not feel light or casual. It will feel powerful, emotional, undeniable. It may even feel overwhelming at first, because this is what happens when something delayed by God is finally released. And in that moment you will have a choice: to open your heart or to protect it, to trust the process or to question it, to receive love or to fear losing it again. And this choice, it matters, because this is not just about reunion. This is about alignment. There is a verse that speaks softly into this moment. He has made everything beautiful in its time. The Ecclesia since 3:11, not before, not after, but in its time. And your time is now approaching. Your soulmate is stepping out of confusion and into clarity, out of fear and into courage, out of silence and into action. And you are standing at the doorway of something you once prayed for but almost gave up on. If you stay, everything about this connection will soon make sense. Because what felt like delay was actually divine protection. What felt like distance was actually preparation. And what felt like silence was actually God writing a deeper love story than you could ever imagine. Your soulmate is closer than you think, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, energetically. They feel you, they miss you. They are being drawn back to you. And the moment they reach out, it will not feel random. It will feel like destiny knocking on your door. So I ask you again, my beloved soul, are you ready? They are not just thinking about reaching out anymore. They are preparing for it. There is a quiet urgency building inside them. Something they cannot silence, no matter how much they try to distract themselves. It's like your presence has become a constant whisper in their spirit, a voice they cannot escape, a truth they can no longer deny. And what's different now is that this time, they are not running from it. They are leaning into it, slowly at first, cautiously, but with a growing certainty that keeps pulling them closer to you. Stay here. Because what is happening in their heart right now is the turning point you've been waiting for. There were moments when they tried to convince themselves that they didn't need this connection, that they could move on, that life would somehow feel complete without you. But every path they explored, every distraction they chose, every attempt to replace what they felt for you, it all led them back to the same realization. Nothing felt right. Nothing felt whole. Because your connection was never meant to be replaced. It was meant to be understood. And now they finally understand. Do not scroll away, because something deeper is being revealed about their transformation. They have started to see you differently. Not just as someone they loved, but as someone God placed in their life for a reason. They are reflecting on the moments you shared, the conversations that lingered in their mind long after they ended, the way you understood them in ways no one else ever could. And in that reflection, they are seeing truth. They are realizing that you were not too much, you were exactly what they needed. They are realizing that you were not asking for too much, you were asking for honesty, for consistency, for real love. And now they see they were the ones who were not ready to give it. This realization is heavy for them. It brings both clarity and pain, because with understanding comes accountability. And with accountability comes the awareness that they may have hurt the one person who was meant to stand beside them. But listen closely, this is not where the story ends. This is where it begins to shift. Stay with me, because their next move is forming right now. They are starting to imagine what it would feel like to talk to you again, to hear your voice, to see your name appear on their screen. And with that imagination comes emotion, strong, undeniable emotion. There is nervousness, yes. There is fear, yes. But there is also something stronger than both of those things: desire. A desire to reconnect. A desire to fix what was broken. A desire to finally choose you the way they should have before. And this desire, it is not fleeting. It is growing. If you stay, something even more powerful is about to be revealed. There have been signs around them, subtle at first, but now impossible to ignore. Songs that remind them of you playing at the exact moment they think of you. Random conversations bringing up your name or qualities that mirror who you are. Even dreams, vivid, emotional, almost too real to dismiss. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. God is placing reminders in their path, not to confuse them, but to guide them, to lead them back to what they once overlooked, to awaken a love that was always there, just hidden beneath layers of fear and doubt. And as these signs continue, their resistance continues to fall away. Do not leave yet, because the truth about their heart is unfolding even deeper. They miss you in ways they cannot explain to anyone. Not just your presence, but your energy. The way you made them feel seen. The way you brought peace into their chaos. The way your love felt safe, even when they didn't know how to receive it. And now, in your absence, they feel the space you left behind. It is not just emptiness. It is awareness. An awareness that what they had with you was rare. An awareness that they may not find that connection again. An awareness that they let something sacred slip through their hands. And this awareness, it is pushing them toward action. Stay here, because something deeper is unfolding in your love story. They are beginning to plan, quietly, privately, in their own mind. Thinking about what they would say, how they would approach you, how they could rebuild something that once felt so natural but became complicated. They know it won't be easy. They know trust may need to be rebuilt. They know you may have questions, hesitation, even walls. But for the first time, they are willing to face all of that, because losing you completely feels worse than facing the discomfort of trying again. And that is the shift. That is the moment where fear loses its power, and love takes the lead. If you stay, everything about this connection will soon make sense. You may have noticed something changing within yourself too. A calmness where there used to be anxiety. A quiet knowing where there used to be doubt. Moments where you suddenly feel at peace, even without any external reason. That is not random. That is your spirit aligning with what is coming. Because as your soulmate prepares to step forward, your heart is being prepared to receive without fear. And this preparation, it is just as important as their action. There is another truth you need to hear. Even if it surprises you, they have been watching from a distance. Not in a physical sense necessarily, but emotionally. Wondering how you are, if you've moved on, if you still feel the same. There is curiosity there, but also hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, you still have space for them in your heart. Do not scroll away, because what comes next may change how you see everything. They are closer to reaching out than they have ever been before. The hesitation that once held them back is fading. The confusion that once clouded their mind is clearing. And in its place there is clarity. A clear understanding that this connection is not something to run from, but something to step into. And when they do reach out, it will not be casual. It will carry weight, emotion, truth. You will feel it. You will feel the difference in their energy, in their words, in their presence. Because this time they are not coming from a place of uncertainty. They are coming from a place of realization. Stay with me, because this is where everything begins to align. The delay is over, not just in time, but in understanding. They understand what you are to them. They understand what they lost. They understand what they want now. And what they want is you. And now, my beloved soul, everything is moving toward a moment that once felt impossible, a moment where silence breaks, where distance collapses, where two hearts that have been quietly calling each other finally stand face to face with truth. Not confusion, not fear, but clarity. And this clarity is what changes everything. because your soulmate is no longer questioning what they feel. They are accepting it, fully, deeply, without hesitation. And this acceptance is what gives them the courage they never had before. Courage to speak, courage to reach out, courage to risk being vulnerable with you in a way they once avoided. And this is why you have been feeling that sudden emotional shift, that strange pull in your chest, that quiet voice telling you something is about to happen, because it is, and it is happening right now, not later, not someday, but in this very season of your life, where everything is aligning exactly as God planned it from the beginning. And you need to stay here, because what is about to unfold in your love story carries a depth you have never experienced before. There is something sacred about this moment, something that goes beyond human understanding, because this is not just about two people reconnecting. This is about two souls who were separated for a purpose, finally coming back together with a deeper awareness of what they mean to each other. And your soulmate has reached a point where they can no longer pretend that this connection is ordinary. They feel it in their spirit, in their thoughts, in their emotions that come out of nowhere, and it overwhelms them in ways they never expected, because they tried to live without you. They tried to create a life that did not include you, but every attempt led them back to the same place, the same feeling, the same truth that you are the one person their soul keeps choosing over and over again, even in silence, even in distance. Even when nothing made sense, do not leave yet, because something deeper is unfolding in their heart that you need to understand. They have been replaying memories, not just the happy ones, but the moments where they failed you, the times they pulled away, the words they didn't say, the love they didn't express. And this reflection is not light. It is heavy, it is emotional, it is filled with a kind of regret that shakes them from within. Because now they see clearly what they could not see before. Now they understand the depth of your love, the sincerity of your intentions, the way you stood by them, even when they were unsure of themselves. And this realization is humbling them, breaking down the walls they once built, softening a heart that used to resist vulnerability. And this is exactly what needed to happen before they could truly come back to you in the right way. If you stay, everything about this connection will soon make sense, because while they were going through this internal transformation, you were being prepared in your own way. Your heart was learning strength, your spirit was learning patience, your faith was being tested in ways that made you question everything. And yet you did not break. You bent, you cried, you wondered, but you did not completely let go. And that is because this connection was never meant to be forgotten. It was meant to be fulfilled, and now that fulfillment is closer than ever before, closer than you can even imagine. Because your soulmate is no longer resisting the call, they are answering it, and listen carefully to this. Because it carries a truth your heart needs right now. They have already thought about what they will say to you. They have already imagined the moment they reach out, the way your name will look on their screen, the way their message will feel when they finally send it. And there is a mix of emotions inside them: fear of how you might respond, hope that you still care, uncertainty about whether it is too late. But above all of that, there is something stronger, something undeniable, and that is love, not a surface-level feeling, not a temporary emotion, but a deep-rooted love that has been growing even in your absence, even in their silence, even in the distance that once seemed permanent. Stay with me, because what is about to happen next carries a shift you have been waiting for. There is a divine push happening, something that is moving them out of hesitation and into action. And this push is not coming from pressure, it is coming from purpose, because God is not allowing them to stay in a place of indecision anymore. The time for waiting has passed, the time for confusion has ended, and now the time for movement has begun. And when God initiates movement, it does not come without intention, it comes with alignment, with clarity, with a sense of knowing that cannot be ignored. And this is why you have been feeling that inner peace lately, that strange calm that does not match your circumstances, because your spirit already knows that something is about to shift in your favor. Something you prayed for, something you cried over, something you almost gave up on, is now being released into your reality, and this release is not accidental. It is divine timing finally unfolding in a way that makes everything you went through worth it. Do not scroll away. Because the truth about their next action is about to unfold. They are very close now, closer than they have ever been to breaking the silence. And when they do, it will not feel forced, it will feel natural, like something that was always meant to happen, like a conversation that was paused and is now continuing exactly where it left off, but with more maturity, more awareness, more depth. And this is what will make it different this time, because this time they are not coming to test the connection. They are coming to honor it, and you will feel that difference immediately. You will feel it in the way they speak, in the way they express themselves, in the way they hold space for your emotions, because they are no longer the same person who once hesitated. They have changed, not perfectly, but meaningfully. And that change is what makes this moment so powerful, because it shows that the delay was not wasted. It was necessary. Stay here, because something even deeper is unfolding in your love story. There is a shift happening not just in them, but in the entire energy of this connection. It is moving from uncertainty to clarity, from distance to closeness, from silence to communication. And this shift is what creates the opening for reunion, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. And this is why you need to be ready, not in fear, not in doubt, but in openness, in trust, in faith that what is coming toward you is something you have been divinely prepared to receive. Because when they finally step forward, when they finally speak, when they finally show you what has been in their heart all along, it will not be small, it will not be casual, it will be real, it will be deep. It will be something that touches your soul in a way that reminds you why you never fully let go in the first place. And in that moment, my beloved soul, you will realize something powerful. The delay was never the end of your story. It was the beginning of something far greater than you ever imagined. And now, my beloved soul, you are standing at the edge of a moment that carries both promise and truth. A moment where everything that once felt uncertain begins to reveal its deeper meaning. Because your soulmate is no longer hiding from what they feel. They are surrendering to it, fully, honestly, without the masks they once wore. And this surrender is what makes this moment so powerful. Because it is not driven by impulse, it is guided by realization, by a knowing that has settled deep within their spirit. A knowing that you are not just someone from their past, but someone meant for their future, someone God placed in their path with intention, with purpose, with a love that was never meant to fade but to evolve, to grow, to return stronger than before. And this return, it is happening now. They have reached a point where silence feels heavier than speaking, where distance feels more painful than vulnerability, where the thought of losing you completely has become something they can no longer accept. And this is why they are preparing to step forward in a way they never have before, not halfway, not uncertainly, but with a heart that is finally aligned with what it truly wants. And what it wants is you, not just your presence, but your love, your energy, your connection that has stayed with them, even in the moments they tried to walk away, even in the times they convinced themselves they could forget, because the truth is they never did. They carried you with them, quietly, deeply, constantly. Stay with me. Because this final truth will bring everything together. There was a reason this connection could not move forward before, a reason it had to pause, a reason it had to go through distance and silence and confusion, because there were parts of both of you that needed to grow, to heal, to understand what love truly requires, and without that growth, this connection would not have survived. It would have broken under the weight of unhealed wounds and unspoken fears. But now those things have been faced, not perfectly, but enough to create a foundation that is stronger than before. And this is why the delay was not punishment. It was protection. It was God ensuring that when this love returns, it returns with the strength to last. And now, as your soulmate stands on the edge of reaching out, as their heart beats with a mixture of anticipation and vulnerability, as their mind replays everything they want to say to you, there is one thing guiding them more than anything else, and that is the quiet, steady voice of God leading them back to where they belong. Because this connection was never random, it was written, it was designed, it was destined to find its way back, no matter how far it seemed to drift. And now that it is finding its way back, it carries a depth that cannot be broken easily, a truth that cannot be denied, a love that cannot be ignored. There is a verse that speaks softly into this moment. What God has joined together, let no one separate. So Mark 10:9, and this is not just about marriage, this is about divine connection. About the kind of bond that is held together by something greater than human effort, something that continues to exist, even when circumstances try to pull it apart. And your connection, it carries that kind of depth, that kind of divine imprint that does not disappear. It only waits until the right time to be fulfilled, if you stay. Everything about this moment will settle into your heart with clarity and peace, because what is coming is not confusion, it is not inconsistency, it is not the same cycle repeating itself. It is something new, something grounded, something that reflects the growth both of you have gone through. And when they finally come forward, when their words reach you, when their presence returns into your life, you will feel the difference, not just in what they say, but in how they show up, in the energy they bring, in the way they choose you without hesitation, without fear, without running away when things become real. And in that moment, you will feel something shift within you as well, a sense of peace replacing the old anxiety, a sense of certainty replacing the old doubt, a sense of love that feels safe, not fragile, because this is what happens when divine timing completes its work. The love that returns is not the same as the love that left. It is deeper, it is wiser, it is ready. And now, my beloved soul, as everything aligns, as your soulmate moves closer to you with every passing moment, as the silence that once separated you prepares to break, you are being asked to do one simple but powerful thing. Trust. Trust that what you felt was real. Trust that what God is bringing together is not a mistake. Trust that the timing, even when it felt painful, was perfect in ways you could not see before. Because this connection, it was never meant to end in separation. It was always meant to lead to reunion. And this reunion is not a question anymore, it is a movement. It is a process already in motion. It is something that has already begun to unfold in ways you are just starting to feel. So take a deep breath. Release the fear. Let go of the past version of this connection that brought you confusion, and open your heart to the version that is arriving now, the version that carries clarity, intention, and a love that is finally ready to be expressed fully. Because your soulmate is coming forward, your moment is arriving, your love story is shifting into something real, and this is your confirmation. It is already on its way. Rest in faith, it is done.